looking after a homemade toy their new child's caretaker put together at school one day. The film is due to hit theaters on June 21st. Mike, you saw this trailer. What were your initial takeaways?
I mean, I'm as like a childhood fan of Toy Story. It's exciting to see another one come out, and it looks pretty good. I mean, the animation's obviously amazingly
Top
improved
notch.
since the original,
Top notch.
so it's beautiful, beautiful stuff. But like, I thought they ended Toy Story perfectly with number 3. I do think this movie, and they probably did make it, is probably for extra, like an extra cash bag. Let's be honest. But I don't think that means the movie is necessarily going to be bad. I mean, it has some great voice talent, like big name voice actors, and just regular actors in this movie. And it looks really good. Like, it looks very endearing, and looks like I'm going to definitely see this. It's been a while since I've seen an animated movie in theaters. I should have saw Spider-Verse, but
Come on, you got to see Spider-Verse.
Go see this movie.
That's
I
that.
gotta see Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's
out of theaters, but I'll see Toy Story 4 probably in theaters when it comes out.
absolutely. Yeah, this trailer kind of tugged at my heartstrings. I love Toy Story. Toy Story 3 is my favorite Pixar movie of all time. I would love to see if they can sneak in Lotso into this movie, but I don't think they're gonna force anything. It's Pixar. They're not in it for fan service. They're in to tell a good story.
They are on a road trip, and the last time we saw Lotso, he was tied to a garbage truck. So
Yeah, that would actually be really cool. What I do like is that I understand that Toy Story 4, typically movies don't go beyond a 3-movie franchise unless they're based on like books that require it to go beyond 3. But I do like that even though this movie does seem a little forced, I do like that they're kind of expanding the world and, let's leave the house. Let's leave a toy collector's like hotel room and let's go out into a carnival. I think that's a genius move.
They go into like the carnival, the antique store, so there's definitely a lot of variety for like the types of characters they can have. But it does seem like anything can come alive now with the Forky guy.
Yeah.
So maybe the whole thing is like a child's imagination is what brings them alive.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
That would be really cool. And I remember hearing that Tom Hanks said this script made him cry, and the final day of voice acting made him cry. So and that's Tom Hanks. That's one of the most accoladed, most decorated actors in the business. And so the fact that this movie made him cry, that makes me even more anticipated. And also, when the Toy Story 3 came out, this was before Disney owned properties like Marvel and Star Wars. Do you think there's a chance, maybe obviously there wouldn't be main characters, but do you think there's a chance we could see like a Captain America shield or just like a lightsaber as Easter eggs in this movie?
I think it'd be funny if we saw some like action figures of the heroes. That'd be quite funny. I mean, like they've done like licensed toys before. Like Mr. Potato Head, that's a licensed toy. Barbie's a licensed toy. That'd be pretty funny if we saw some like Star Wars action figures in the movie. I think that'd be great.
Wouldn't it be cool if this just came to my head? If this movie comes out after Endgame, if she reaches into a sandbox and pulls out guys like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, kind of as like a metaphor for them being undusted, I think that would be glorious.
That would be quite funny.
That would be glorious.
I hope they do that. I hope they do. That'd be great.
Yeah, and honestly, like I don't think I want like Captain America voiced by Chris Evans to have a role, but like a nice Easter egg, like even just have his shield in the corner, maybe like have his shield near like the trademark Pixar ball or something. I think that'd be interesting. But yeah, I'm heavily anticipating this movie. It's easily in my top 10 of most anticipated this year, and it's going to hit theaters on June 21st, right in the summer, and I'll be able to see that movie the day it comes out, and I'm sure if I have any tears left after Avengers Endgame, I will be sure to shed them when this movie hits theaters. All right, with that being said, we're going to move on to another story, a story that kind of shocked the Hollywood world, shocked me. Mike texted me this as soon as he heard about it, and Mike kind of broke this news to me. And that is that Disney has reinstated director James Gunn for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. This is an exclusive story, and it comes from Deadline. Redemption and second chances have long been superhero movie staples, and it looks like today life has imitated art. I've learned that Disney has reinstated James Gunn as their writer-director of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and I've confirmed it with Marvel and Gunn's camp. The decision to rehire Gunn, he was fired last July by Disney after alt-right journalists made public a full, I can't pronounce that word, a bunch of decade-old social media missives that made light of pedophilia and rape, was only was one that was mulled and actually made months ago following conversations with Disney's studio leadership and the team at Marvel Studios. Why the change of heart? After the firing, Walt Disney Studios chairman Alan Horn met with Gunn on multiple occasions to discuss the situation. Persuaded by Gunn's public apology and his handling of the situation after, Horn decided to reverse course and reinstate Gunn. Mike, I gotta ask right off the bat, is this story because Disney is happy with Gunn's apology, or is this story because they don't want focus of Gunn doing Suicide Squad?
I think it's actually for a different reason than those two. I don't think they were going to be able to find a director to direct that movie the way it should have been directed. You know, like, most of the actors are complaining. If the actors are complaining, they're not going to put on a good performance. Even if they're contractually obligated, they're not going to be as happy. I feel like they're worried that Guardians 3 wasn't going to do good, and they needed him to come back. You know, like, stuff's already settled down pretty good. And I mean, maybe the news of him doing Suicide Squad 2 scared them a little bit. But I think the main reason is they couldn't find anyone else to do it. I'm sure they asked I can't pronounce his name.
Taika Waititi.
Taika Waititi. I'm sure they asked him, and he publicly said he would do it. And I'm sure they asked a lot of MCU directors, and they were like, nope, I'm not doing it. They had to give it back to him. I'm super happy he's back. He didn't do anything wrong. He made some stupid jokes. He apologized for them, and this is what should happen when this stuff happens. Like, not just like canceling someone who did really, truly nothing wrong. And I'm so happy he's back.
Yeah. So the question I asked you was kind of flawed because he is in fact still doing Suicide Squad 2, and that movie is coming out before Guardians 3. So that kind of confirms, even though that they were in talks and apparently they had confirmed that he would be back either weeks or months before it was publicly announced. So they kind of entered these talks after Gunn confirmed that he would be doing Suicide Squad 2, because there is no way they would allow him to do Suicide Squad 2 if they had confirmed with him before he announced he would be on that project. And it's kind of interesting because now that Suicide Squad 2 is Gunn's priority right now, that movie comes out in summer of 2021. So that means Guardians won't come out till 2022 at the earliest, and Guardians 2 came out in 2017. So now the follow-up to Guardians 2, likely the last Guardians movie, unless they decide to do a new team of heroes and continue that like they're going to do with Avengers. That movie's not going to it's going to come out nearly 5 years after at the earliest, and I would honestly expect 2023 as the soonest, because you got to expect that he's not going to get to shooting this movie till after Suicide Squad 2 comes out. So if shooting's not going to happen to 2022, you know?
This stuff's happening after we graduate college, and we're just freshmen right now. So
yeah.
It's insane to think about.
Yeah, it's insane that, you know, we saw Star-Lord our senior year of high school, and now the next time we see, well, he'll be in Endgame, but the next time we'll see him in a Guardians movie won't be till after we are like officially adults, and it's crazy to think that far in advance. I'm very happy that they reinstated Gunn, and I like that. I like all the solidarity, because a lot of actors and like leading people in Hollywood, you know, you're not going to support this guy when he's outed by Disney. Marvel wanted to keep him on. Kevin Feige always wanted to keep him on, but Disney didn't want attachment to him. You know, props to Dave Bautista. That's one thing that I love from this whole saga. Dave Bautista said...
We love Dave Bautista.
We love Dave Bautista. But it's not even a joke, because like Dave Bautista said that he would not return to Guardians 3 without James Gunn, and he risked getting blacklisted from Hollywood. He risked losing his career in Hollywood completely, and it worked for him, because he said, you know, I came from WWE. How many WWE guys besides The Rock have successful movie careers? John Cena is just now starting to blossom, but he had 5 years of direct-to-DVD movies. Dave Bautista left the WWE not as like he would return part-time. He straight up left and went all in on Hollywood, and James Gunn was the one who gave him his break, who said, I want you as Drax for Guardians. That role was supposed to go to Jason Momoa, who was already a bit of an established actor. He also...
I can't even imagine that.
He very much like Dave Bautista, Jason Momoa, he was established from Game of Thrones, but he owes a lot of his career to Zack Snyder, and that's why he always stands by him. But focusing more on Dave Bautista, the fact that he was like, no, I'm sticking by my guy. I'm not going to be someone that forgets my roots. This guy is the reason I'm getting roles. He got a role in a James Bond movie. He was in Blade Runner 2049. He became an A-list star because of James Gunn, and the fact that he stayed so loyal to Gunn throughout this whole process, I commend him for that. I'm so excited to see him in the upcoming Dune movie, and hopefully I'm excited to see him in Guardians 3. I was about to say that. He's got to be in Guardians 3 now.
Yeah, he will. He'll get undusted like everyone else.
Yeah, and so great news all around. I'm glad that Disney brought Gunn back. We hate to see controversy. This whole saga felt like something out of DC. Like Marvel is pretty clean cut. We never see of script delays or a movie not meeting its release date. And so this was kind of the first controversy we saw in Marvel in a long time, probably since the failed Inhumans movie that became one season of a TV show. So glad to see Marvel back. I never really thought they lost course, but this one little bump in the road, I'm glad that they reversed it, and I'm very happy to see James Gunn back with Guardians.
Definitely.
All right, with that being said, we're going to get to our final story of today, and it is some official posters for the heavily anticipated 9th film from Quentin Tarantino. This story also comes from Deadline, and it is titled Another Once Upon a Time in Hollywood poster, Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. A day after the release of Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt posters from Quentin Tarantino's upcoming movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, another in what might be a series has hit social media, Margot Robbie in character as Sharon Tate. The pick is a Pulp Fiction-esque tapestry of stories set in and around Los Angeles in summer 1969 at the height of hippie Hollywood. The two lead characters are Rick Dalton, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, the former star of a Western TV series, and his longtime stunt double Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt. Both are struggling to make it in a Hollywood that they don't recognize anymore, but Rick has a very famous next-door neighbor, Sharon Tate, played by Margot Robbie. Set alongside that trio are the likes of Al Pacino, Kurt Russell, Dakota Fanning, James Marsden, Michael Madsen, Tim Roth, Timothy Olyphant, Damian Lewis, Lena Dunham, Emil Hirsch, Scoot McNairy, James Raymar, Brenda Vaccaro, and Bruce Dern, who stepped into the role that was set for his friend Burt Reynolds, who tragically passed away in September. Luke Perry also filmed a role in this film before he died 2 weeks ago. Sony releases the Columbia Pictures film on July 26th. Mike, I got to turn it over to you as one of the biggest Quentin Tarantino fans I know, as someone who loves all his movies and revisits them all the time. How excited are you for this movie, and what did these posters do for your anticipation?
I'm so happy, so excited for this movie. The posters, I don't think the posters themselves, like I've seen these pictures before. These pictures have been released before, but I think, and I'm going to predict it right now, that but at the end of the week, we're going to have a trailer. These posters are leading towards something. We got one yesterday. We got one today. I think we're going to get more and more. We're going to get some new images because we've only really seen the Pitt, DiCaprio, and Robbie's characters. That's all we've really seen. I think we're going to see more posters, more pictures, the trailer by the end of the week. And that's just going to be a great way to send off the week for me. I cannot wait for this movie. It means I can't even wait for the trailer either. I'm so excited.
Absolutely, yeah. As you said, DiCaprio posted on his Instagram, one of the rare posts from DiCaprio that's actually film-related because everything else is environmental and global warming and all that stuff. I just lost Mike, actually, and we're hopefully we got Mike back?
Yes.
All right, perfect.
Everything I say, did that go through?
Yeah, I caught everything. I was saying that DiCaprio posted this on his Instagram one day ago with him and Brad Pitt in character in front of a car, and then Margot Robbie posted today on her Instagram herself as Sharon Tate. Very excited for this movie. I love the logo, the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, isn't that great?
Yeah, fitting the characters of the Hollywood logo in California. And yeah, that little bit of story, plot details that they're neighbors with Sharon Tate. Oh my God! Like this story, it's one of it's Tarantino's first story that's kind of based on true events. Am I correct in that?
If you don't count Inglourious Bastards,
that's kind of a reimagining.
Yeah, reimagining of World War II. But I think this is probably going to be a little bit reimagining as well. I don't think he's going to do straight history. He's definitely going to make up some facts, which is fine. I mean, that's what he's done before. But I think it's gonna be good. Like, he's one of the best directors working, and I don't think he could